Good morning, students. This is chapter number 11, Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. And today's topic is laws of photoelectric effect or laws of photoelectric emission. Right? Actually, these are the observations taken from the experimental study of photoelectric effect. So, these observations are called laws of photoelectric emission. The first one is, for given substance, the minimum value of frequency incident light called the threshold frequency, below which no photoelectric emission is possible, howsoever the intensity of incident light may be. It means for the photoelectric emission, frequency of the light should be greater than the threshold frequency or critical frequency. Now this observation came from the experimental study from this graph, right? In this case, near the origin there is no stopping potential, means there is no emission of electron. After nu naught, if we increase the frequency of radiation, we require some stopping potential. It means the frequency of radiation should be greater than the critical frequency for emission of radiation, emission of electrons from the metal surface. So this is the first law of photoelectric emission. Now second, the number of photoelectrons emitted per second is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light. It means the intensity increases, it means photoelectron increases, and photoelectrons increases, it means photoelectric current also increases. So this is the observation came from the experimental study from this graph, this one. Now see, if we are increasing the intensity, photoelectric current is also increasing, and photoelectric current depends on photoelectrons. It means if we increasing the intensity, current is also increasing. You can also see from this graph, right? On increasing intensity, number of emitted electron increases, and hence the photoelectric current also increases. Now the third observation is that maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron depends on frequency, provided that frequency is above than the threshold frequency. So this is a necessary condition for emission of electron. So frequency should be greater than the critical frequency. Now kinetic energy depending on frequency. Now you can see from this graph, there are two frequencies, nu2 and nu1. Nu2 is greater than nu1. For nu2, stopping potential is higher than the stopping potential of nu1. It means the kinetic energy of emitted electron is higher for nu2. So the kinetic energy of emitted electron depends on the frequency, right? But the maximum kinetic energy is independent of intensity. It means if we increase the intensity, there is no effect in kinetic energy. Now we can draw this observation or this law from this graph. See, there are two radiations of different intensities, but the stopping potential is same since frequency is same, right? It means stopping potential is independent of intensity, and stopping potential is the measure of kinetic energy. It means kinetic energy of emitted electron is independent of intensity, right? So this is the fourth observation. Fifth observation is that the process of photoelectric emission is instantaneous or spontaneous. As soon as photon of suitable frequency falls on the substance, it immediately emits the electron. Means there is no time gap between incident photon and emission of electron. Since the electron can exist in the excited state in not more than 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. Last, the photoelectric emission is 1 to 1, means for every photon 1 electron is emitted. Means the number of photons increases, the number of emitted electrons also increases. So 1 to 1, 1 photon 1 electron concept, right? Now this is the Einstein's photoelectric equation. Whenever the light incident on the metal surface, for example this is 5 joule energy photon, so it will absorb by the single electron. Now one part of this will consume in the form of work function, means the energy required to this electron to reach at the metal surface is 1, that is work function. So remaining energy will be remains with it in the form of kinetic energy. So the photon of energy h nu falls on the metal surface. The energy of the photon is absorbed by the electron and it is used in two ways. Number one part of energy is used to overcome the surface barrier and come out of the metal surface, right? This is called work function. Means this energy portion will be consumed by the electron to reach at the metallic surface. And the second part or the remaining part of the energy will be remains with the electron in the form of kinetic energy for giving them the velocity. That is called maximum kinetic energy of the electron. Now we can write this equation. Now see, this is the metal and a photon of h nu falls on the electron. One part of energy h nu not consumed and the remaining part will remains with it in the form of kinetic energy, right? It means according to law of conservation of energy, we can write that h nu is equal to phi plus half mv maximum square. This phi is work function h nu naught. So we can write it as h nu is equal to h nu plus half mv maximum square. And ultimately this equation can be written as this one. Now we will explain the laws of photoelectric effect with the help of Einstein's photoelectric equation, right? So this is the Einstein's photoelectric equation. Now we have to explain all these laws with the help of this equation. Now first, if nu is less than nu naught, if nu is less than nu naught, then kinetic energy will be negative. It means emission is not possible. The electron will remains inside the metal. It will not come out at the surface. So emission is not possible. But if nu is greater than nu naught, then kinetic energy will be positive. It means electron will come out from the metal surface with some kinetic energy, right? The first law can be explained by this equation. Now second, since one photon emit one electron, this is the one photon one electron concept. So the number of photoelectron emitted per second is directly proportional to intensity of the incident light. Intensity means number of photon per unit area per unit time. It means if we are increasing the intensity, number of photon increases. Number of photon increases, it means the number of emitted electron also increases. Now the third, it is clear that kinetic energy is depending on frequency, since nu naught is constant. If nu is increasing, kinetic energy is also increasing. It means kinetic energy of emitted electron depends on the frequency of incident light, right? Next, photoelectric emission is due to collision between photon and electron. It means each photon is absorbed by the electron and electron will come out at the excited state, but it can remains at the excited state for only 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. It means it is a spontaneous process. The electron absorb the photon and immediately come out from the metallic surface if the frequency of radiation is greater than the threshold frequency. Right? Now these are the applications of photoelectric effect. Automatic fire alarm, automatic burglar alarm, scanner, reproduction of sound in cinema film, and paper industry to measure the thickness of paper. To locate flaws of or holes in the finishing goods. In astronomy, to find the opacity of solids and liquids, automatic switching street lights, right, to control the temperature of furnace, and so on. There are so many applications of photoelectric effect, right? So this is these are the applications of photoelectric effect. Now we are going for the dual nature of radiation. Now see, in previous chapter we have explained reflection, refraction, interference, polarization by wave theory. Means light have the wave nature. And now we are explaining the photoelectric effect with the help of particle theory or quantum theory. So on the other hand, the quantum theory successfully explain the phenomena of photoelectric effect, Compton effect, black body radiation, etc. It means light have particle nature as well as wave nature. So we can conclude here that the radiation have dual nature, wave nature as well as particle nature. So this is all about the dual nature of radiation. In next lecture, we will discuss about the dual nature of matter. Thank you very much.